Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. And smash that like button right meow. You know you're gonna have a good time. I was just thinking, I wish you schedule a stream. You get to go live on Streamlabs. You go live, and then it just stays on the calendar. It should just hop back to the camera view. I mean, it says, end stream, which does mean that you're live, but I think it's weird that it automatically does not do that. Like, I'm gonna go live and then just continue to schedule streams. I don't know. But what's up, one to go to? Glad you made it. Says, evening, Nikki. You look marvelous. Thank you. It's humid even with the air conditioner on. It's just like we had a little bit of rain yesterday, and then it rained kind of like very lightly for about an hour, maybe I don't know, like 3 a.m. And we really don't have any other rain on the forecast, but the humidity is hanging out. Oh, whoops, no. Sorry. I don't know what that was. Wrong thing. Everything's fine. Just trying to get my screen set up here. So it's 80 in here. I don't know, man. It'll be fine. As long as I can wear the hat. Oh, I do have super chats opened up. I've got Venmo and Buy Me a Coffee. The links to those are in the channel description and the show description. 100% of that goes to myself. You're never paying for AI content. You're not giving Google 30%. Your money stays in the United States. I don't spend it on hookers and blow. And I read your comment at my next show, or the show I'm doing currently. And for Dark Shadows, link for that is in the channel description and the show description. It's on Tubi for free. It's on Internet Archive. And then if you want to get into the audio dramas, Spotify has all of them in a playlist. So the link to that is down below. It's not my playlist. It was already there. There's a list of them by number, and there's 50 of them on the Dark Shadows wiki. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to have that screen open, and then I'm going to look up the dramas one by one. And when you type in, it's like Dark Shadows, Big Finish Productions, something like that, bam, it's just all, they're just all there in a playlist. So somebody did the work for me, and I'm pretty sure they're all in order. Cool. I have not listened to all of them, but I went from thinking I'd never get to hear any of them unless I bought them through Audible or something, to bam, they're just right there. So that's totally awesome. I saw a little bit from the Dark Shadows convention. I went to look it up one day. Somebody had recorded about 20 minutes of it from day one. I haven't watched it, but they did upload it, so more power to that person. It seemed like 2 or 3 of the people I follow on Tumblr went. Apparently one person dressed up as, I can't mention the character because they're not on the show yet, but then they uploaded a video of themselves, and I'm like, wow, they did a damn good job, like with the clothing of the late 60s, early 70s era, and all that. So more power to them. But one page that I do follow uploaded a picture of John Carlin's son Adam. Now I haven't seen a picture of this guy since I don't know, maybe the 90s or something like that. But to the picture, it's not crystal clear. It's like I don't know, like a 720p quality. It's not. I don't know if they were moving. I don't know why it didn't turn out clearer, but it's clear enough. First of all, the guy looks closer to my age than 20 years older, give or take. Um, he's got like this uniform gray colored hair, maybe just a little bit darker than my backdrop. Looks very much like his daddy. He's a little bit more like worked out in the arms and the chest. But like in the face, you can see the resemblance, like with the brow and the jaw. He looks more like his father now than he did. Like he bared a resemblance to his dad when he was younger. He looks a lot more like him now. It's scary. It's crazy to see. It's just one picture though. I haven't looked for it, but I don't. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing people sit there and just record. Like there's photos of people who came in costume. So like there's maybe like 20 pictures of 20 different folks, but there's no video. It seems like people are just there to have a good time, which is good. You know, you shouldn't be on your phone all the time, but this is something that should be recorded. The 60th anniversary is a big deal. So I'm sort of surprised there was not more lengthy. Maybe people did film a lot of video and they're just editing it. I don't know. Maybe it's too soon to tell, but it just seems like there should be more out there. Or like here's the first minute of Catherine Lee Scott talking. Okay, cool, awesome. I like what she's wearing. What's like the bottom of the shirt kind of goes like that, but I don't know. I just maybe on the one hand, it's good people are just having a good time and didn't have their phones out, but at the same time, why didn't you have your phone out? Record this shit, damn it! But yeah, you know, maybe it was just last weekend, so I might be just be being impatient. At the end of the day, I hope everybody had a good time. Nothing got broken or stolen or anything bad happened. They had nice weather. How was the food? I just I am just opening up my own show to get the recap from the last review. Here we go. So at the last review, Victoria had two people tell her that they saw Liz up on Widow's Hill. She was telling Burke that Mrs. Johnson and Barnabas saw her up there, and Liz said she was just taking a walk, but Barnabas thought was looking like she was about ready to jump. So Victoria is worried about Liz, and then later on, she goes into Liz's room. She's not there. But where do you think she is? Widow's Hill. So Vicky has to talk her out of jumping. Like, just, you think about what this is going to do to Carolyn. Just, girl, you can't. What's up, Pam? Glad you made it. Pam sent me some interesting stuff last week from with the festival going on. So Vicky talked Liz down. So, okay, good. So that's made her want to live again. So that's good. But then Carolyn was in Jason's room. He caught her and let her know in so many words he expects her to marry Buzz and then get the fuck out of Collinwood. Carolyn's like, you can't kick me out of my own house. This is my mother's house. Jason's like, this is Mrs. McGuire's house, and I'm Mr. McGuire. And so he expects her to leave. She got drunk as fuck and decided that the best thing to do was to grab a gun and bring that to the wedding, and she was ready to bust a cap at him. Like, when was she planning on doing that? Because Liz was about to say I do, but she didn't. Was she going to shoot Jason before he could say I do? I don't know. We didn't get that far. Brian says, wasn't there a shooting or something? I'm sure there's a shooting every day in the world somewhere. What's up to you? Oh. But at the wedding, before Liz does say I do, she whips around and turns to everybody in the room and tells them that she killed Paul and Jason helped her. And Everyone was shocked, especially Carolyn. She dropped her gun and the purse, and she's just devastated. Like her day wasn't bad enough. First, she was wrecked because her mother was gonna marry Jason, and then that immediately turned into worse. She found out that her mom killed her dad. So nobody's having a good day now. Pam says the Collins have a lot of anger issues and needs Dr. Hoffman with the sedatives. They, because we know Liz likes herself a downer. Girl, was it episode 107, the pill scene? Here, Vicky, take this. I take them frequently. They can't possibly hurt you. Liz is my girl. But you know what? She's stressed out. She needs some downers to deal with everything she's got to put up with. O'Brien, oh yes, the confession, no shooting required. Yeah, she was ready though. She had her like we couldn't see at that time, but I'm sure everybody violates trigger discipline on this show. So I'm sure she had her finger on the trigger, and she's aiming it at Jason, who's next to her mother, who's very with Vicky right behind them, and then the priest is in front of those first two. So what if your aim is wrong? We don't ever see Carolyn at the range, so okay, but thankfully she didn't have to go through with it. We don't know how good a shot she is anyway, so it's for the best. Sorry, I just think I smell my neighbor's charcoal grilling or something like that, but this is the recap for discs 28 through 30. So this covers episodes 271 through 270. Just any extra random thoughts I had, especially the last time I was going through this, that came to me after the fact. Sort of to keep everything straight. So the last time I watched this, I blew through it in 4 months or less. So Willie had to be so normal about his crush living under the same roof as him. You know, he's not a creeper. He's not that guy anymore. But he still likes Maggie. So he just had to just be cool with it. Don't think about it. Poor guy, he's had loyalty beaten into him. Like at first, he seemed a little bit more defiant, pissing Barnabas off, but I guess it just takes one time getting beaten in the face with the cane and told he's gonna meet the same fate as Maggie Evans if he steps out of line, that he's too scared to. He can't do anything anyway. He's too scared to kill Barnabas. He's too under his control to run away. He can't do anything about it. But that's it. The only reason he stood up to Barnabas was for Maggie. He thought he was going to kill her, and that's the line for him. He can put up with everything else, but you're not going to kill his crush. And someone get the sexy man some Xanax. Oh my God, his nerves have got to be shot constantly. Like he spends his entire day nervous. I'm sure he can't get any sleep. Oh, what's up? Patrick, glad you made it. Says, hi, Nikki, hope you're well. Doing okay. It's just kind of hot. I'm fighting with my fan here, blowing my pages around. It's just a little bit humid, but other than that, it's gonna be okay. Pam says Barnabas does start to show his human side and his evil side. Yeah, it's like he was probably not that bad of a guy when he was human, but you just need specific things when you're a vampire, and he just wants a certain girl, and he's gonna get it. You know, who's gonna stop him? So he's just very strict. Pam says that showed tears regarding his Josette. He really does love Josette. I wonder why it didn't work out because that's his girl. That's that's his crush. 175 years locked in his coffin. Yeah, it was. He had a long time to think about this stuff. And I've counted so far. Willie's gotten 4 new shirts. Barnabas must have read Willie the riot act about his clothing. Not like he dressed bad before, but I'm sure he wants Willie to dress a specific way, so he told him about clothing. Barnabas does seem like the type to give one a lecture. And so he went out and he's gotten some clothes. I doubt he brought this many shirts with him when he and Jason showed up at Collinwood. Barnabas is so cruel. He is so mean to Maggie. Like, I understand locking her up because she tried to kill you, but she's a human being. He doesn't know. She's not the type to be by herself. She's not a loner, and you got her locked down in this basement where she can't see anybody, and she's barely eating, and he's just. No wonder she went crazy. Like, as soon as she is not working out, he found out that Victoria is an orphan, and, like, oh. Like, I like girls from orphanariums. And he is so jealous that she spends time with Burke. You get some good frowns out of him whenever Victoria mentions Burke. The Maggie is stubborn as fuck. The first time when she's trying to get Willie to, like, here, take these jewels, I'm gonna kill him, she gets this look on her face, this stubborn look. I like that look. She's not putting up with any shit, but she was there for half a month. I'm sure it seemed longer. No wonder she went nuts. And poor Sam and Joe, they've gotten such a bad deal. They've just been worried about Maggie this whole time. And then they find her for 2 seconds, and oh no, we've got to send her away. So it's like Sam. It's like I found her and just lost her all over again. Dr. Hoffman, we've only seen her once, but she just seems focused on her work and nothing else. She seems less interested in curing Maggie than she is in experimenting with her mental state. And then Liz, she's just had to deal with everything on her own, the locked room, the wedding, Carolyn. And Joan Bennett does despondent very well. But that crying killed me. And I'm so glad she got out of marrying Jason. She really did seem backed into a corner. It was that bad she wanted to jump off a Widow's Hill, but she finally has done the right thing. Maybe not at the right moment, but she did do the right thing. She really only has Victoria to count on, but she's just told her that she killed her husband. She hasn't confided that to anybody. And Carolyn has issues. I see why she behaved the way when how she's been acting when she didn't know the truth about Liz. So I kind of don't blame her, but she sort of does take it too far. It's like, well, I'm going to marry the first jerk I see. Like, come on, Buzz. We have a ball together. Yeah, trigger discipline on Carolyn. She almost killed that lady in the car accident. So, okay, so we've got Roger with his 2 confirmed kills. We know David's killed a critter. As of right now, we know that Liz killed her husband. Carolyn almost killed that lady in that car accident, and she's almost killed Jason McGuire. Like, everybody on the show wants to, like, they don't want to murder somebody, but like that's like 75%. 5% of them at the house. I know Mrs. Johnson isn't a Collins, but what's her story? Oh my God, man. Pam says Jonathan Frid talked about his Barnabas character being in his coffin 175 years and going into the 20th century. Nervous his first year in front of the camera. Yeah. Pam, yeah, everyone in Dark Shadows has mental issues. Yeah, if you find a mentally sound person on Dark Shadows, I don't know, make a holiday out of it because they're few and far between. It is nervous being on camera at first. You get used to it. And everyone hates Jason more as time goes on. That they start out not liking him. He does nothing to make anyone like him. He just takes and takes and takes, and like everybody likes him. He's told Willie to fuck off, so he has no friends either. And we've got Sarah on the show now. She's a ghost. Barnabas seems to know who she is. Like he's hung out with some little girl before. Yeah, Burke has been recast. I forgot about that in the beginning. And the cast does seem more settled into their characters. It first seemed like everybody was getting used to everything, but now it's been a handful of episodes, and it seems like everybody's getting used to each other. We've had some of my favorite episodes, one of my favorite storylines, funny lines. I was thinking about calling the beginning Dark Shadows the beginning, Dark Shadows Donuts, because we don't see donuts in the rest of the show. It's just in the beginning. And then canon birthdays. I told you that was coming up, and we have them. So she's 50, looking good for 50. You can tell I'm not gay because I don't have the finger snaps down. Roger is 41. And then Carolyn is 20. See, I thought she was 18. It's kind of worse that she's 20. Okay, her and Vicky are the same age, that's fine, but for her to act that way and she's 20, girl, you got some growing up to do. Okay. So episode 271 aired on July 10th, 1967. We're on disc 31. It's still day 89. It's nighttime. We're at the wedding in the living room. And they reused the end of the last episode where the priest is, or not the priest, but the judge is going through the vows. Liz can't do it. She says she killed Paul, and everybody freaks out. Carolyn drops the gun on the floor. So we hear thunder. Is thunder bad for a wedding? I don't know. I guess it's off now, but Jason says, "You don't know what you're talking about." Liz, "I did it. You know I did it. And you buried him." Jason, "Oh, Liz, you're being hysterical." Burke says, "Let her talk." Roger cannot believe this. He's like, "What are you saying?" Liz, "I had to tell the truth or I would have gone mad." Jason, It's the strain she's been put under. Do you see what it's done to her? Let me take you upstairs to your room." He starts to walk towards her. She backs up. Liz says, "Don't come near me." Burke, "You heard her. I want Liz to say what she's got to say." Liz, "That's all there is to say. I killed a guy, full stop." Just Rogers, there's. Oh, I don't believe you. Liz, "It's true. It happened right here in this room." The judge, "Now, but before you say anything more, I'm gonna have to leave. I can't be hearing about crimes and stuff. Well, what if he has to judge the case later on? He can't be hearing any details, so he's trying to get out of there. Roger says, before Liz says another word, I want Garner called in here. Jason, no, she doesn't need a lawyer. She needs a doctor. She's ill. Liz, I don't need a lawyer and I don't need a doctor. I want to tell the truth, especially to Carolyn. And we look back at Carolyn and she's almost frozen with shock. She says, "You killed him. You killed my father?" So the judge insists again, like, hey, I really do. I gotta leave. I can't be listening to this. The deuces, he takes off. Don't show him the exit. He knows where it is since he just walked the fuck up in there. Do you usually just barge into people's homes without being, I don't know. Pam says it's a man's world in the 60s until women's liberation, and Dark Shadows takes the lead in women's rights. They do have a lot of women, like Liz is in a position of power. Pardon, since she's the head of the household, being the eldest child, so she's got that going on for her. I guess Victoria is pretty independent, just sort of striking out on her own to work for some family that she and everybody she lived with had never heard of before. So the judge does leave. He takes off. Jason says, let's all be calm. Carolyn indicates Jason. She says, I almost killed him. I was going to shoot him. I couldn't let you marry him. I had my finger on the trigger. Of course she did. Trigger discipline. But Liz, no! Roger, well, Liz seems to have done you a favor. If she hadn't stopped the wedding, you'd probably be dead now. Roger enjoyed saying that to Jason. Jason, but I haven't done anything wrong. Liz, wrong? You said you were going to help me, and you buried him. Then you came back to blackmail me. Victoria's saying to Liz, like, tell them. Carolyn's still back there traumatized. She says, you killed my father. Liz, I couldn't help it. Carolyn, why? Liz, he was going to leave. No, that wasn't the reason. Roger, Liz, maybe you and Carolyn and I should go into the study. Like, let's not do this here. Liz says, no, I want Jason to know I'm telling the truth at last. Victoria already knows, but I swore her to secrecy. If she would have told, I would have denied it and sent her away. Victoria says, I wanted to tell. Jason, I have no intention of staying here and listening to these absurdities. Burke says, I'm afraid you're going to have to. Jason, anyone who knows Liz knows she's incapable of murder. Liz, that isn't true. Carolyn, I was ready to kill. Liz, it happened in this very room. There was a storm. Paul was standing by the fireplace. His bag was packed. He was drinking what seemed to be his final toast to Collinwood. I found out he planned to leave that night and never come back. I also knew something else, and when I told him, he laughed. We get a flashback. We've never had a flashback on this show before. We've had stories, but we're actually gonna see the past. Pam says Dark Shadows actors protested against the Vietnam War. I know because I was a studio kid and first generation of Dark Shadows, remembering all the magazines, bubblegum cards, Dark Shadows games, Jonathan's 11th State Tour. Brian, well, he at least he'd be leaking. Yeah, I mean, like Carolyn could have shot him in the back as a warning shot. I don't know what caliber gun that is. Wear your bulletproof vest to the wedding. Oh, what's up, NT? Glad you made it. It says, hey, Nikki and everyone. Hope all goes well for everyone. Yeah, me too. Please, no technical difficulties. So we're flashed back. We're in the living room still, and then we see this fella standing in front of the fireplace. And this is Paul Stoddard, but we never see his face. We see him from the back. We'll see the back of his head, the back of the coat he's wearing, or we might see him from the neck down. But it's always shot in such a way, and the actor always moves, so we don't see the actor's face, but he doesn't have an accent like Jason. He's just a regular white dude. Uh Normal sized. Well, like he's not very tall, he's not very short, just average size random guy. Okay. But he's standing, he's facing the fireplace, he's holding on to his drink. There's a suitcase off to the side that's, not usually there. So that must be the bag that he has packed, but he's says, I don't know what you're so angry about. You should be happy I'm going. So then we see Liz. She's got her hair down. She's wearing this dark long sleeve dress. And at the cuffs, it's got feathers, like stage show feathers in a lighter color. And that same light color is what's it's tied at the waist. But it says, I'm not trying to stop you from leaving. I'm trying to stop what you're doing. I know what's in that suitcase: bonds, jewelry, worth a fortune. Paul, you exaggerate. Liz, I know what's kept in the safe in the study, so I know exactly what's in that suitcase. Paul is rather a cocky fellow. He's like, well, let's just call it a settlement. Liz, you can go if you want, but the suitcase stays. Paul, you always said I have an unusual avarice. Now you say you'll do anything to hang on to a little bit of money. Liz, it's far from a little bit. You're taking what belongs to Carolyn. Paul, a parting gift to her father. She'll never miss it. Liz, you're right, she'll never miss it, because I'm not gonna let you take I'm not gonna let you take it. She won't miss it because you can't have it. Paul says, tell her it's a small payment for putting up with her for the past 2 years. Dude, she's a baby. What the hell? Was changing diapers that much of a pain in the ass? Because before I thought Carolyn was 18 and he just left as soon as she was born or before she was born, but she's 20, so he was around for a couple years. But how much do you remember from when you were two or a year and a half old? So I understand why she has no memory of him. And it also sounds like he was never around, so you wouldn't remember a guy she saw a few times. Yeah, Paul says it's a payment for putting up with her for the last 2 years. Liz, you are cruel. Paul, it's getting late and I have an appointment. Liz, I know. You're expecting your friend Jason McGuire. He found a way to transfer the bonds and sell the jewels. Paul. Well, I must admit, Jason's a very capable man with indispensable connections. Liz, if I don't stop you, the cops will. Paul, you'll never tell them. You'll do anything to avoid a scandal. Liz, don't be so sure of that. Paul, I'm your husband. I'm performing a transaction on your request. At your request. Liz, no one will believe you. Paul, you know better than anyone how persuasive I can be. And now, goodbye. Takes the last of his drink, sets it up on the mantel, picks up a suitcase, starts heading for the door. Liz says, "Put down that suitcase. I warn you." She walks over to the fireplace herself. She takes one of the pokers out and she's holding it up like she's going to whap him with it. She says, "I've never been more serious in my life." So Paul turns around and he laughs at her. He says, "And you've never looked more ridiculous." Liz says, "I've had more than I can stand." Paul, "So have I." So he takes a step towards her. Liz has that poker. She says, "Don't come one step nearer. I mean it." Paul says, "And so do I. Listen, I don't want to hurt you on our last night, so put that thing down." Liz, "I can't let you take what rightfully belongs to Carolyn." Paul, "I'm not interested in Carolyn. I'm leaving." So he turns around to walk away, like he walks past the camera. So Liz walks up behind him. We hear this whack with that poker. Paul yells. We hear somebody fall on the ground. So Liz is looking down now. She says, "No." And we see what she's looking at. Some dude just sprawled out on the floor, like face down on the floor, just completely knocked the fuck out. Dude just down for the count. So Liz starts freaking out. She's just like, "Somebody help me." Now we get a voiceover, and she's saying that she saw blood gushing from the back of his head. She left the room. She didn't know what to do. And she wanders into the foyer, goes to that table that's in the middle of the room there, and she's just kind of leaning on it. Can't even hold herself up. Yeah, your first kill's always the hardest, Liz. It's okay to be upset. But as she's just standing there and out of it, the front door opens up, and in walks Jason. And he's got his hat on, just, "Yeah, Mrs. Stoddard." Liz looks up at him. She says, "Mr. McGuire, you've got to help me. In there. Paul, quick, please call a doctor. I didn't mean to do it." Jason says, "What's happened to Paul?" Liz, "He was leaving. Don't pretend you didn't know. You'll see. In there." So Jason heads over into the living room. He opens the door. He looks in. Well, before he even opens the door, he says, "Don't come in here. I'll see what needs to be done." That's when he looks inside, closes the door back up. He says, "Don't call anyone else in the house. Maybe he's only unconscious. There's no need for anyone else to know about this. Wait here." So he goes inside the living room, door closes, keeps the door closed behind him. Liz walks over to the grandfather clock, and she's just leaning on it, like, "What the fuck did I just do?" She's just, "I just killed a guy." didn't even pick up the loot he dropped. No, she's not greedy like that. I just wanted to scare you with the way. Maybe she was aiming for his shoulder or his neck. It knocked him on the head by accident. I don't know what her depth perception is. Again, we don't see her at the knocking people out range. I don't know how many fights she's been in. I've never seen her carry a sword, but she saw blood coming from his head. It's generally not a good sign. Pam says at the Dark Shadow 60th anniversary celebration, the skit Dark Soup. Oh my grandmother's Afghan stole the show. They're showing on Facebook. 60th Collinsport players. Funny. I saw somebody did show up. There was like a costume contest of people just dressed up like we haven't seen it yet, but I'll be pointing it out when it comes up in the color episode. That this Afghan that just always seems to be on the set. Somebody, like some lady, just trying to think of this picture I saw for a second. It's like she took the whole thing and made a skirt or a dress out of it, and she was wearing that. I'm like, is that the Afghan? I'm like, oh my god, it is. Like, did she crochet that herself? Props to her. So Liz is just over there by the grandfather clock, just in shock. But Jason comes back out of the living room, walks up to her. Liz says, did you call a doctor? Jason, no. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but he's dead. Liz, he can't be dead. I didn't mean to do it. I hit him on the head. I didn't mean to. Jason tells her that there's nothing in there you want to see. It's not a pretty sight. We'll go back in there and check. Liz, what am I going to do? Jason says, why don't you let me help you? Liz, yes, someone please help me. Call the police. Jason, well, no, I'm not sure that's necessary, you see. Liz, but he's dead. I killed him. Jason, I know. It was only an accident. There's no need for the cops to find out. Liz, what are you saying? Jason, I can fix it so no one will ever know. You have a daughter and she's just lost her father. There's no sense in her losing her mother, too, is there? Liz, but I killed him. Jason, everyone in Collinsport knows he was planning to leave you anyway. They'll just think he's finally gone. No one will be suspicious. Liz, no, I can't do it. Jason, think of Carolyn now. For her sake, you want to let me help you. Liz, I don't understand. You were never my friend. You were Paul's friend. You were going to help him. Jason. Sorry, this is a serious scene. Jason says, well, it's a little late to help him now. Liz, so why do you want to help me? Jason, I know Paul didn't care about Carolyn, but I really thought you always did. Liz, yes, I do. Jason, well then, for her sake, you owe it to her. Just let me get rid of the body for you, for Carolyn's sake. Liz, for Carolyn's sake. All right, then do it, please. So we get another voiceover. It's Liz saying that Jason decided Paul would be buried in the basement. I told him where he could find an old empty trunk. He told me to stand guard in the foyer. I remember the lightning, the thunder, wishing how the whole house would be destroyed, and me with it. He took the trunk to the basement, and then the body. He dug a hole. He poured ink over the blood stain. That was the pretext for having the carpet removed. I had Matthew Morgan burn it with some rubbish 2 weeks later. Finally, Jason came back upstairs. Jason comes up. He's like, well, I did it. No one will ever know. Come with me. I have to show you where it is. Liz, no. Jason, you have to close up that room and lock it now, and don't let anyone in there. Otherwise, they'll find out. Liz, no. You lock it, and then give me the key. Jason, no, I have to show you where it is so that you'll know I did my work. Come on. Liz does not want to go down there. Like, no, you do it, then tell me about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to have to go down there. No, but it's like, no, you got to see this hole in the ground that I dug up and covered up. Well, let's go. Get down there. You're not just going to take my word for it, are you? But she goes along down there with him. So we're in the basement in that locked room. There's dirt on the floor, and then there's a shovel just leaning up against the wall there. It doesn't have all the trunks in there and stuff yet, but Jason has got a flashlight. He points with it at the middle of the floor there. It's like right there. Liz, no. Jason, no one knows but the two of us. And you can just tell people he fucked off. Just tell people he left. He's gone. Liz, gone. He's gone. Oh, I didn't mean to do it. I swear I didn't. Jason, don't worry. You're going to be all right now. The important thing to remember is that I helped you. It's time to lock the door for good. Come on. So they walk out of the room, and then we're in the basement. Jason's locking up the door, hands the key to Liz, and she's just looking down at it. And we get the voiceover again. It's Liz saying, I looked at the key I held in my hand, and I knew from that moment on, I was a prisoner of Collinwood forever. We see the locked room for the basement. He left the shovel in there. Right, you left the dirt on the floor. Oh, okay, maybe they put a new flagstone, but there's a shovel that I maybe expects Liz to get it later, but it's you left your put your tools away when you're done. Oh, it's up, Inkling. Glad you made it. Pam says the costume and skit. If you want to see it, it isn't on Facebook. Brian says I knew he was in the basement, but don't know how. Nobody would smell. How far down do you have to dig a hole to hide a trunk with a body in it that no one can smell it? Does dirt cover up a smell that much? It's not like they had lying around. Like, oh, good, you already have some. I can just pour buckets of it over. Would you stuff other clothing in there, like paper towels? I don't know. I've never buried a body. If you have, put it in the comments anonymously. I won't snitch or anything, but Pam says, we remember Grayson Hall on this day of her passing. All of you devoted fans who love and miss her dearly. I finally got to see a picture of Mrs. Johnson's actress without the wig. I thought that, I mean, like, I know that's a wig. I know that's not her real hair color, but her hair was a different color in the picture I saw. Inkling says, hope you're all happy and well. Yeah, doing all right. Just a little bit humid. How's the, you got winter there right now, don't you? Says hello from Sunday morning in New Zealand to myself and everybody. That's so cool. Yeah, Grayson Hall died young. Maybe don't smoke that much. Damn, there was no reason for her to pass so soon. Oh. So yeah, I don't want to say first flashback, like it's gonna be maybe it's the only flashback on the show, but it's the only one so far. That was cool. Usually, whenever they show an episode and it's a flashback, it's like flashing back to way back in time, and they have to cake on the makeup, especially on the ladies, to make them look younger. And while like they might look younger, you can also tell who got makeup caked on. Like I know you guys did your best. Maybe it's the lights, or maybe they have bad skin, but not so with this. Not so with this. It just Liz was just had her hair down and was wearing a style dress we've never seen before. Never seen her wearing feathers. Some kind of fancier house dress. And T says anonymous who hasn't buried a loved one, like a dog or a cat or something. It depends how big the animal is, though. It's just my 175-pound cat. A doggo that was I don't know, about 5'10". See my clock. Episode 272 aired on July 11th, 1967. We're still in day 89. It's nighttime. They reused the end of the last episode where it's just the part where Jason is locking up the basement door, handing the key to Liz, and then we cut back to the living room, and Liz is just saying that last line, how she knew she was a prisoner of Collinwood, and everybody's standing in the room listening to her tell this story. Went to a wedding, got a murder story instead. I guess it's all entertaining if you're not involved. The Inklings saying hi to Brian. Hope you've been enjoying your summer and that life's treating you well. It's winter here, but just a few weeks now until spring. Yeah, it's getting close to fall next month. Whenever Libra starts, we're in Leo right now. We've got to go through Virgo yet. So we are in the living room. Like I said, Burke has picked up the gun that Carolyn dropped, and he's holding on to it. He's kind of far away. Can't quite tell if he's got his finger. It seems like he's got his finger on the finger guard, but he's also standing behind everybody, so he's got it pointed at everybody. But then a lot of times he'll have his hand up, and there's another character in front of him, so we can't see it every time they show everybody in the room. So don't point it at people either. I don't care if your finger is on the trigger guard. Hold it. Like, I understand for storytelling, he has to hold it up, but don't do that in real life. Gee, people fall into holes all the time somewhere out there. Just ask the former governor family of a state. Well, they were governors at some point back in the day, people fall into holes all the time. It happened to me in Minecraft all the time. Like, what's that over there? Wow, the ground is coming at me really fast, splat. Death screen, Nikki M. Carlin fell from a high place. Like, I guess I gotta look where I'm going. People fall into holes all the time. And he's pretty sure they have, or had a foundation that was a mask for help, right? Yeah, Liz just needs to start a business that digs up floors and puts everything right back where it was. Yeah, that's. I just wanted to make sure there was dirt under here. Okay, that'll be 10 grand. Check the foundation in the middle of the floor. But yeah, Burke's holding that gun. He's standing back behind everybody, and it's like, okay, we're not supposed to think about that. Jason's there. He says, well, everybody's still there. Jason says the entire story's an absurd and ridiculous lie. Roger, I knew all along you were blackmailing Liz. I didn't know how or what about. Now we all know. Jason, I haven't been blackmailing her. Liz, how can you continue to deny it? Jason, because there's nothing down there. Liz, how can you say that? Jason, because it's the truth. Burke, all we have to do is a little digging. Yeah, he does. Burke does have his finger on the trigger. Yeah, trigger discipline violation there, guy. You did 5 years hard time. That nobody ever. It's fine. Nobody ever told you not to do that. Jason says, dig away. You won't find anything. Liz, this time your lies won't do you any good. I've told the truth, and you haven't got a hold over me anymore. Roger, it's perfectly obvious you forced her into marrying you. Jason, how could I force her into anything? I never had a hold on her. Burke, a body in the basement sounds like a pretty strong hold to me. What's up, Dandy? Glad you made it. Oh, what's up? I want to say it is your handle is like just one name. Mary Annabelle. Says thank you for your show and now enjoy Dark Shadows fan. Yeah, it's definitely a hidden gem of a show because even when I started watching it, I did not know it would just get better and better, and the highs would get higher, and just it was showing me stuff I didn't know I wanted to see, and stuff I did want to see, and stuff I would have never expected, and for being some a campy soap opera that came on in the afternoon, there's some genuine stuff that scares me. I'm not even trying to be dramatic about it or being like a sissy about it. I'm just like oh, that's fucking creepy. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you watch this in the middle of the night or the middle of the day. That would have creeped out anybody. Oh, God, why does it look like that? Oh, what the fuck? Who let this fly? I'm glad they did it, but I'm scared. I need an adult. And T, you're just own your local folk. Like those who get to rule the deaths and whatnot. Half torsos commit that S word all the time. With this family is all. Oh yeah, just get in good with the city coroner. Is that yeah the coroner? Yeah, that guy. Just skip over the bullet hole part. Yeah. People commit suicide by shooting themselves twice in the back of the head all the time. What are you talking about? It's just trendy. Yeah, just put that. Pam, it was an escape of what was going on in the 60s. Yeah, that's why I like it's good not to always be mentioning current events. TV in 1964 before color TV, except Superman with George Reeves. Oh yeah. Cause yeah, it started out as black and white in 1966, but maybe they thought like, dude, we are not paying for color cameras for a show that has not proven itself. So just deal with it. Be happy you're on the air at all. And they finally had to buckle down or just cave in. Just okay, we'll give you color cameras. And Tino names need to be mentioned, but you may have got it. Yeah, yeah, just it's not what you know, it's who you know. Maybe the guy who signs the forms, you should be friendly with that guy. Inkling said, I've got a day off work later in the week, so I'll hopefully catch up with you all. Quite frankly, good to see and hear you, Nikki. Yeah, it's good to see you too. I've been thinking about you. They mentioned New Zealand somewhere on the show recently. I'm like, wait, we know somebody from there. Pam, yeah, watching technology grow from rotary phones to cell phones now, yeah, it's you just see somebody going up to a phone and doing that and not like pressing anything. I mean, I've used a rotary phone. I know they exist, but how do you text with that thing? Yeah, but Jason's saying, like, well, you never had a hold on Liz. I couldn't force her in anything. And Burke says, well, body in the basement seems like a pretty strong hold to me. So there's Carolyn. She's like, my father, buried in that terrible room. Jason, there's no one buried in there. All they have to do is dig and they'll find out I'm telling the truth. Burke, you've never been within 10 miles of the truth and you know it. Liz, I knew this day would come. I'm going to call the sheriff. I've waited 18 years. I'm not waiting another minute. Roger, it isn't necessary to go to the sheriff. Even Jason can't do anything about it now. If he went to the cops, he'd be implicated for his blackmail. Then Liz says something that makes no sense. She says, I want to be free, even if I have to go to prison. I get her meaning, but, do you know what prison is? Jason says, well, let her go. I haven't done anything wrong. Liz, anything wrong? You've been making me keep this terrible secret, making a liar out of me. You separated me from my family and made me hate myself every minute. What about that money I gave you? Jason, I was employed. Roger, no one will believe that. Jason, they will when they find out I didn't even have the means for blackmail. Dig away, you'll find absolutely nothing. Liz, we'll find out soon enough. Roger, call Garner first. Liz, she's over there dialing. It's like there'll be plenty of time to talk to a lawyer later. Jason, go ahead, you're only embarrassing yourself. So Liz gets somebody on the line. Just say, hello, Sheriff. Can you come to Collinwood right away? There's been a murder. See, now you're just being dramatic. I mean, like, canonically, yeah. He says, why does Barnabas hate throat lozenges? Because they take away his coffin. That's a good one. I've never heard that before. Inkling saying to Dandy, hope life's treating you and your feline sidekick well. Pam says it's cute when Barnabas uses the rotary phone to dial a number in the drawing room of Collinwood, but he has no phone to the old house. His true escape of who he was. There's a point, maybe in a couple hundred episodes, Barnabas does something, interacts with something modern, and it's so cute. It's where I'll definitely point it out, but it's just cute to think of him like using a a parking meter. Pam, come to the Dark Shadows event on October 31st in Lyndhurst, Terrytown. Catherine Lee Scott will be there. I mean, if I had the money for it, it'd be another story. I could definitely consider it. I just don't have I can't afford to I don't have the money for like renting a car and hotels and traveling. Candy says it's funny to see him in certain situations that make him seem more mortal, if not a geek. Yeah, for a vampire, for somebody immortal, you think he would just be like, dude, I can drink and smoke and all this kind of stuff, but he doesn't. So as soon as Liz says there's been a murder, Jason happens to be standing by Burke, who still is holding that gun. So Jason hits his arm. We hear the gun go off. He drops it. Jason runs out the front door. Dude is hauling ass. So Roger runs. He's like, well, I'm going to get a gun. Like, I've been waiting to shoot this guy. Hold on. So Roger takes off through the kitchen door. He's going to grab a gun. Burke picks up the gun that he just dropped, runs outside after Jason. We hear 5 more shots. We don't hear him say, I got him. So I guess it's a bad shot. That's why you don't have your finger on the trigger. But he doesn't learn shit from that, because now we're in the woods. There's Burke. He's got the gun, looking around. Then we see Roger in another shot. He's got a shotgun. And we see Jason. He's sneaking around. He's trying to avoid people. He's like hiding. When he sees Roger, Roger doesn't see him. We see Burke again, finger on the fucking trigger. Right? You didn't learn anything from 2 seconds ago. That my God, man. But there's Roger, finger on the trigger as well, trigger violation. Just like, you didn't see what just happened in the living room. The floor got shot and nobody cares. Okay. But Jason really put all of his eggs in one basket with Liz, just expecting he was going to marry her and get everything he wanted, because now that's gone away and he can't even go to Willie for help because he's told him to fuck off. He's told him if he doesn't leave town, he'll kill him. So like I was saying, he has no friends, so he has nowhere to go. Just needs to fall into a hole like NT was. People fall into holes all the time. Like I was talking about in my update video. But Roger and Jason sort of, meet up with each other in the woods. There's Roger. Oh, it's you. Like, you were just ready to shoot the first person who saw moving in the woods, but I guess. Roger's so happy to grab his shotgun, too. Like, I've been wanting to shoot Jason since the second I knew he was living here. Now's my chance. I'd have been excited, too. Like, bro, I've kept the shotgun under the couch this whole time, just in case this popped up. I can't wait to bust the cap in his ass. Self-defense, self-defense. Roger's saying to Burke, well, he can't be far. So Burke says, well, I'll head for the cliffs, you follow the road. Roger's like, if I see him, it's on sight. Like, I'm gonna drop that dude if I come across him. Burke's like, don't. Think of Liz. I think she should see his face when we turn him over to the sheriff. Roger's like, well, if we're gonna find him, we shouldn't be talking like this. So they separate. So Roger looking to kill a third guy. I don't know if he wants to kill him or if he just wants to injure him, but he's waiting to shoot this guy. But we're back in the living room, and Victoria hangs up the phone. She says, the sheriff's on his way up. He and his men were going to look for Jason. Liz says, why did he keep insisting there's nothing in the basement? Carolyn's got tears going down her face. She's still in shock. She said, my father buried there. Liz walks up to her. She says, can you ever forgive me? Carolyn, you killed him. Liz, I swear I didn't mean to. Can't you say anything? Victoria, everything your mother's done, she's done for you. Carolyn, can't look at her. She killed my father. Victoria, I think you should talk to your mother. Carolyn, I can't. That room in the basement. You took me in there. You wanted to prove to me there was nothing there. I was standing at my father's grave. He's been there all these years. All these years I searched for him and waited for him to come back to me. Locked, all alone, in that room. All these years. Liz, not alone. I can't tell you how many times I went down there. I know my tears were worthless. Victoria mentions that she's heard the crying, so that's what made me think Liz is the Collinwood ghost, because people will say they think they hear crying, and then they chalk it up to Josette, but it's really Liz they heard crying down in the basement. So Liz is the ghost of Collinwood. Danny, it was great to see Liz finally get the truth out. I was like, thank you. Relieved the truth is out. I'm relieved you don't have to spend any more time with this jerkwad. All of that. And then we see Carolyn devastated. I'm like, oh, right. Yeah, the reason she didn't want to bring it up. Carolyn says, I was waiting for him to come home. And now there's nothing to wait for anymore. Liz says, can't you look at me, please? Like Liz and Victoria have been standing behind her the whole time, and Carol's just kind of stuck, staring forward, crying. But she really slowly starts to turn around, starts to look at Liz, and as soon as she sees her, she just starts bawling, and then she just runs out of the room. Understandable. Poor thing. That sure as hell would scare me off of weddings, too. Like, oh no, I went to a wedding once. Fucking devastating. So later on, the sheriff is there, and he's saying, we've got roadblocks up in a 20-mile radius. From what you've told me, Jason's the real criminal. Liz, he's not the only one. So Roger comes in, or comes back. I guess no luck shooting anybody. But he says he hasn't seen Jason, but Burke is still out there looking. So Liz tells Roger, I told him everything. So Roger, what happens now? Sheriff says, well, we wait for one of my men to help me. Liz says, well, you know I won't give you any trouble. Like, you'll never take me alive, copper. Like she's gonna fist fight these grown men. I was gonna have to go to prison, but get your hands off me. What's the charge? Enjoying a meal? Well, I won't give you any. I'd love to see Liz trying to resist arrest. It would be so out of character. She's struggling against two grown-ass men, handcuffed. Do you have any idea who I am? You just confessed to this. I'll have your jobs for this. Sure you will, lady. Roger, yeah, he would pitch a fit about being arrested. Carolyn, David, not Liz, but sheriff tells her, well, we're gonna have to dig up that body in the basement. Roger, you'll find Liz absolutely innocent. Liz, Roger, please. Of course, Jason would say that there's nothing down there. Sheriff says, what? What's that? Roger, Jason denied being involved. He even went so far to say there's nothing in the basement. Sheriff says, I thought Jason buried the body. Liz, yes, but he was denying everything. Naturally, he would claim there's nothing down there, but there is. So Burke comes back. He says they think they've got him cornered in the woods near the highway. That's where Roger was supposed to be looking, but sheriff says, well, you and Roger can give me a hand. I'm going to have to do some digging in the basement. I can't file a report without a body. So Liz gives them the key. But then the sheriff decides, you know what, maybe Roger, maybe you should stay here with Liz. And Roger agrees, like, yes, a family member should stay with Liz. So it's just going to be the sheriff and Burke going down to the locked room in the basement. And that's where they go. They brought shovels. It's not like there's still a shovel up there against the. That was a flashback. Danny saying it saved Carolyn from committing murder. Like, yeah, she would have really shot that guy. I mean, more power to you for defending your mother, but witnesses bury up next to my father. No one will know. It's now I got to kill Vicky and Burke and Uncle Roger, so nobody. I did. She's not a psycho. Pam says it's super the way Nikki reads 271 plus. Yeah, we've still got 975 episodes to go. Can't stop now. I hate when you start to watch a series on YouTube and they just stopped for some reason 5 years ago or something. Wow, this is great. They're going to do a whole series about a whole 40, 50 episodes about a thing, like a video game maybe, and they just like do 3 episodes and stop. You made a commitment to your audience, either to like put an apology in there somewhere at the end or finish it. I don't care how long of a hiatus you took. I had cancer. Well, have you tried not having cancer? I didn't. No, I'm not going to give somebody shit for being sick, but like, oh, I just didn't feel like it. I got tired of it. I got it. You made a commitment. You say a show's going to be on, you put on that show. So we're down in the basement, and they're both looking at the floor. Burke says, I was always sure I wanted Liz destroyed in some way. Now I know it isn't what I wanted at all. Sheriff says, I wonder if this is going to be worth the effort. Didn't Jason say there was nothing down here? Burke, well, sure, but who believes him? He was only looking for a way out. Sheriff says, well, we'll know soon enough. So they start, using the shovels to get those stones out of the way before they can start. They're not going to be dicks and break up the stones in the floor. Of course, the sheriff doesn't want to do any work. He's kind of a big boy. Oh, Dan, you're saying that my character portrayals are great. Oh, thank you. It's kind of hard to do some of them because Carolyn always speaks in such a way like she's like exhaling, which I mean it's fine. It's not annoying or anything, but I would be afraid I'd run out of breath doing her lines the way she does. I don't know. I still gotta. I've got hundreds of episodes to get into it with these characters. Maybe it'll fall into place. So we're back up in the living room, and there's Liz saying there's nothing to do now. But wait, it's all over. Victoria is up there after Roger just said a member of the family should be with her. He's not in the room at all. Victoria is there. Oh, thanks for the compliments, you guys. Brian says it's bringing it to life. Thank you. I watch these back. Sometimes I think I do a pretty good job. Oh, I'm glad I said that line that way. Okay. Sometimes I forget how the actor said it, and then I gotta do my own acting. But Victoria's there. She's like, is there anything I can do? Liz, no, I don't need any help anymore. Carolyn, she's the one who's going to need help. I'm not going to be able to give it to her. Listen, I can hear them in the basement. Victoria, you couldn't possibly. Liz, can you feel it? A tremor. As though Collinwood were being shaken to its foundation. Victoria, that's just your imagination. Liz, would you ask, no, beg Carolyn to come see me? I've got to talk to her. Victoria, I don't know where she is. She's not in Collinwood. She probably just wanted to be alone. Liz, just don't you feel it? The whole house is trembling. So we're back down in the basement, and the fellas are digging up the dirt, but it's just dirt. The sheriff says, well, maybe for once Jason wasn't lying. So they're still digging through. Burke finally, well, not finally, but Burke sticks a shovel down and hits something. Sweet, scrapes the dirt off. Says Jason was lying. It's a trunk. And we see what he's looking at. It's the top of a trunk buried down in the floor with dirt all around it. So, oh, damn. I don't want to open that. And we see that trunk for the credits. What's more shocking, that Jason told the truth or that they found the trunk? So episode 273 aired on July 12th, 1967. It's still the same night. It's still day 89. We're down in the basement. And the Burke and the sheriff have lifted the trunk out of the ground. And like they can see the front of it where the lock is. We can just see the back of it. What's up, Beach Chap? Glad you made it. The sheriff says, well, the lock looks rusty enough to break. It's not going to be pretty. I've never searched for anything I wanted less to find. Well, there's no sense stalling, so he just takes the shovel, hits the lock a few times to break it. They open up the lid, and it opens up in such a way that, it's the lid's to the camera. We can't see inside. But they look inside. They look up at each other. So they look back inside the trunk. So we're up in the living room. Roger's asking Liz, like, why didn't you ever tell me the truth? I would have kept it a secret, or didn't you trust me? Liz, it wasn't that. It was pride, I guess. I'm the keeper of the family conscience, remember? The woman with so much integrity. The one with the greatest sense of family honor. Maybe I didn't want to give up the role. Maybe I was too proud to be a normal human being. Roger, no, that wasn't the real reason. You know me too well. I wonder if I wouldn't have done any differently than Jason. Oh, I would have kept it a secret, but I would have used it to my own purposes just as he did. You were right not to tell me. Roger is such a dick. No, it's better that you didn't tell me. I would have used it against you just like Jason did. You bastard. That's one of my favorite things Roger ever said. Oh, you know me too well. You were right not to tell me. Liz says, what does it matter? Secret's out now. Roger says, Paul was robbing you. There's no court in this country that's going to convict you. Liz, try to understand. I haven't kept this terrible secret all these years because I wanted to escape the law. I was terrified what it would do to Carolyn. She's gone, and I can't go after her. I can't do anything for her anymore. That's my real punishment. She's all I've ever had. Now I've lost her. Oh, that's so sad. I'll watch this stuff and write it down, and sometimes it doesn't hit me as hard, and then I say it at one of these, and it's like, oh my god, dude. That's low-key gonna make me cry. Yeah, Jason Barnabas. So just then the sheriff and Burke walk in, and the phone rings. It's for the sheriff, so he gets on there. He's like, yes, you did? Oh, bring him here. Hangs up. They caught Jason. Roger, and you're having him brought here? Liz, is that necessary? I'd rather not see him. Sheriff, there are some specific questions I'd like to ask him about that trunk. Liz, well, I have to identify the body. Sheriff, no, that won't be necessary. Burke, why don't you tell her? Liz, well, tell me what? Sheriff, well, the trunk. Why is it empty? Liz, empty? Sheriff, absolutely empty. Fuck you mean it's empty? So they go down to the basement. It's Liz, the sheriff, Burke, and Roger. And couldn't have turned to dust by now. It's only been 18 years. The fuck you mean empty? So the sheriff is saying, you don't have to go. You don't have to go in there if you don't want to. Like, I don't see why you can't take my word for it. Liz says, I have to see. So they go into the locked room. The trunk is sitting there closed. Sheriff says, is that the trunk? Liz, yes. Sheriff, is this the spot where he was presumably buried? Liz, yes. So the sheriff opens the lid, and right as he's opening it, Liz looks away. She's looking off to the side. She's not looking in there yet. The sheriff says, well, then, take a look if you want to. Liz says, I have to. So she turns her head and looks inside. And then we can now see inside there now. It's completely empty, totally clean, not a scrap of fabric, not nothing. Just one empty AF trunk. Liz says, well, there's nothing there. The sheriff, and there's no sign that anything ever was. Liz says, there's nothing there. Why is there nothing there? I've kept this room locked. I haven't left Collinwood in 18 years to be sure no one came down here and found out. I've been a prisoner because of this room. But there's nothing there, nothing. Why have I lived like this? Why have I kept guarding this room? Why have I dreamt night after night that someone came down here and found out? Sheriff, oh, okay, you've seen what you came to see. Let's go back upstairs. Liz freaks the fuck out. We've never seen her freak out like this before. Like it was messed up when she was gonna jump off a widow's hill, but we have never seen her lose her shit like this before. Understandable. What the fuck? Roger says, well, there's no reason to stay down here. So Liz, but where is he? Where's Paul if he's not here? Where is he buried? Sheriff, did it ever occur to you that you didn't kill Paul? Liz, I did kill him. I hit him. I saw him fall. I saw the blood. Sheriff, well, didn't you tell me Jason told you he was dead? Liz, yes. Roger, and you never saw Paul after that? Liz, no. Sheriff, well, isn't it possible? Liz, I know I killed him. I know he's dead. Roger, how can you be so sure? Liz, I felt his presence. Roger, because you felt guilty. Liz, no, the feeling was too strong when I came down here to see if anyone had broken in. I can't explain it, but I swear I heard his footsteps coming towards me. Listen. And now we can hear footsteps approaching. It's not like he has auditory hallucinations. Like everybody hears it. So the sheriff closes the trunk lid. He sort of leans towards the door, like, who's there? So Jason walks in. Shit, it's this guy. But right after he walks in, there's Burke. He says, they just brought him in. I thought you might want him to explain something about this room. And there's a cop with them, too. They're not just going to hand a suspect over to some random person. Jason, I don't know anything about this room. Liz, Jason, you've got to tell me the truth. Jason, I've told you all I know, which is nothing. Liz, show him the trunk. So the sheriff opens the trunk back up. See anything familiar? Jason, I've never seen that trunk before. Who are you people? I've never seen this house before. Like, this dude will just deny everything. But it's like, I've never seen that trunk before. The sheriff, you're lying. You've seen this trunk before and you know it was empty. Liz, please, you've got to tell me what happened. You've got to tell me what you did with him. Roger, if he buried him at all. Ew, what did he do? Just chuck him in the water? Oh. He just opened up that window, that worry window there in the living room and just tossed him out. There, I buried him. Why, I can still smell him. Let nature take care of it. I did my part. No one will ever know. As long as I don't walk around the house or open window. But if he buried him at all. Roger, or not Roger, but Jason, I don't know anything about anything. Roger, I suppose you don't know anything about the blackmail either, or the money in the Swiss bank account. The sheriff says you might as well tell us everything, Mr. McGuire. Liz, haven't you tormented me enough? Jason, I'd like to speak to Liz alone. Liz, you'll tell me the truth? Jason, I think we ought to have a little chat. Roger, he'll only try to make another deal with you. Jason, If I have anything to say, I'll say it to Liz alone. Otherwise, I've said everything I intend to say. Liz, if this is the only way I can find out the truth. So everybody leaves the room. Andy, Jason is such a snake. I know, he's the fucking worst. Fucking hate this guy, man. There's no off button with him. He just won't stop. Can you like not be a jerk for 5 minutes a day? And then 10 minutes a day? It's always something with you. So we're in the living room. It's Liz and Jason talking. So Liz says, you must have just told her everything. She says, is that the truth? I can hardly believe it. Jason, well, this time you can believe it. Now please call in the sheriff. So Liz opens the doors and has the sheriff, Roger, and Burke come in. Liz says, I did not kill Paul Stoddard. Roger, I knew it. Liz, tell them, Jason. Tell them what you told me. Sheriff, you only said he was dead so you could blackmail Liz. Jason, not originally. Liz, I only stunned Paul when I hit him, even though there was a cut on his head. Jason, poor Paul wasn't very bright, you know. I had to formulate plans for him many times, and that night was no different. When I came into the room, he was sitting up, rubbing the back of his head. Right away, I told him he was a fool for trying to get away with so much money. No wonder Liz wouldn't let him go. I told him that a little bit less would still be plenty for both of us. As usual, Paul bowed to my superior judgment. Sheriff, so you went ahead with the burial and then split the money with Paul. Jason, well, Paul requested a slightly larger cut, but that he was notoriously greedy. Roger, not so greedy as you. You had to come back for more. Jason, that wasn't greed. That was necessity. I was broke. Roger, where is Paul? Jason, I don't know. I lost contact with him in Hong Kong over 10 years ago. Roger, but he's still alive. Jason, well, his health was very good at that time. Liz, just, Paul, still alive somewhere. Jason, now you must all excuse me. Sheriff says, just where do you think you're going? Jason, I understand Canada is rather beautiful this time of year. The sheriff, well, you're coming with me. Liz, no, wait. Let him go. Roger, what do you mean let him go? Even if there was no murder, there's still the blackmail. Jason, what blackmail? Liz, I'm dropping all the charges. I had to. I promised if he told me the truth, I'd forget all about the blackmail. Roger, how could you make a promise like that? Jason, it's very simple. If she insists, the authorities allow her to drop the charges. Isn't that correct, Sheriff? Sheriff, if the offended party makes a strong enough plea. Like, damn it, I don't get to arrest anybody today. Roger says, Liz, you can't. Liz says, I gave him my word. I can't go back on it. I had to know the truth, and now I know it. Roger, wait a minute. I want that man arrested. Liz, Roger, I gave him my word. Roger, but I didn't give mine. Sheriff, I insist, arrest that man. I didn't give mine. Jason, and exactly what are the charges? Roger, extortion, blackmail, fraud against my family. Jason, that isn't quite right. All of my activities were directed towards Liz. Roger, you took family money from her, business money. Liz, Roger, don't you understand? I only want to be rid of this man once and for all. Roger, we can't let him get away with what he did. Liz, what would you prefer? Public charges brought against him, followed by a public trial? The humiliation for me, telling everyone what I'd been through. I can't do it. Roger, do we have to let him go? Liz, yes, I never want to hear his name again. Burke, I agree with Liz. I'd hate to see her go through a public trial. Jason, I really think I must be going. Sheriff, wait a minute. I'm giving you until sunup to get out of Collinsport. I'm giving orders to my men to pick you up if you're found anywhere in the vicinity after 6 a.m. Jason, but I still have to make some arrangements before I leave. Sheriff, you've made enough arrangements around here. Jason, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do me one more favor. Sheriff, are you kidding? Liz, please, anything as long as he goes. Jason, give me until tomorrow evening, sundown. Sheriff, what for? Jason, well, a man can't just pack up and leave in a couple of hours. Liz, give it to him. Anything, only make him leave Collinwood, please. Jason, after tomorrow evening, you won't see hide nor hair of me. You have my... Sheriff cuts him off. Don't give me your word. It's about the most worthless commodity on the market. Just see that you're out of town by tomorrow evening. Jason, well, Liz, this is goodbye. Liz, just get this guy out of here. So the sheriff and Jason leave, hear the doors close. Liz, he's gone. At last, he's gone. Just get this guy out of here. Whatever gets your ass past those doors the fastest, do it. Roger says we shouldn't have let him go. Burke, I'd like to know what his arrangements are. Liz, we're better off not knowing anything about Jason McGuire. So then we are on the porch of the old house, and there's Jason. He walks up to the front door, gets close to it like he's listening for voices, walks over to the bay window. He's looking inside. And we see that open trunk for the credits. Now you're gonna bother Willie, fuck's sake. Like, I don't care if this dude wants a parade before he leaves, as long as it's outside of this house. Sick of this fucking guy. Brian says, LOL, I'm with Roger. I know, right? He would have just given Liz more hell, and like she said, she's had to deal with this guy for the last 18 years. And all he's been doing is stealing from her for the last month. I'm beyond sick of you. I might go over time tonight. Just heads up, gonna get in episode 274, which aired on July 13th, 1967. It's been a long day. We're still in day 89. We're in nighttime in the woods, and it's like Jason is walking up to the old house. He sees it there in the distance. So we're in the old house in the drawing room. And Barnabas comes downstairs. And Willie's there. He's wearing the light colored turtleneck. He's got the apron on. And he's lighting candles. Down there working. Pam, enjoying your reading. Oh, thank you. Just looking at my battery power. It should be fine. So what Willie says to him, you've been up there a long time. Barnabas, I wasn't aware of time. That room must not be vacant long. Willie, isn't there some other way? Barnabas, no, Willie, there isn't. I exist in a prescribed manner. There can be no alternative for me. Willie, I understand. Barnabas, I must make my plans. I have already selected the next Josette. Willie, who will it be? Barnabas, you'll find out in good time. Willie, maybe it won't work out. Barnabas, why shouldn't it? Willie, well, I'm only going by what's just happened. Maggie Evans, how it didn't work out with her. Barnabas, there were many reasons for that failure, most of them mine. Willie, well, I don't see how you can change a person into someone else. Barnabas, take the right individual, place her under the proper conditions and circumstances, apply the required pressure, and a new personality is created. Willie, wasn't that what you did with Maggie? Barnabas, I was too hasty in the selection of the subjects. Miss Evans, unfortunately, was not the right individual. She didn't possess enough of the tender qualities of Josette. Everything was done properly, but she couldn't respond. Willie, well, how will you be sure next time? Barnabas, I have made my selection with great care, and I will condition her gradually. For that reason, I want you to go and bring me the jewel chest. I wish to select a gift. So Willie leaves the room. He heads towards the. When we walk into the foyer and we can see the doors directly, he's heading for that door. But now we're on the porch. We see Jason. He's looking inside the windows and pulling a David Collins. But we can see, that Barnabas is in there. He's sitting down. There's a chair in front of the fireplace. That's where Barnabas is sitting. And there's a little table off to the side, or off to the side. So Willie comes back in. And he's got this little teeny tiny chest. It's like a tiny trunk, and he sets that on the. It's about as wide as a laptop, maybe a little bit less, but he sets that down on the table. And Barnabas opens it up, and he there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of jewels in there, and he takes out this sparkly bracelet. It must be diamonds. It's like so wide. It's not a necklace. It's too small, but it is bedazzled. And we see Jason can see that through the window, all shiny. Danny, Barnabas should try wooing a woman the right way. One might actually like him. Yeah, how about you spend more than 5 minutes talking to a girl and see what happens. I don't know. Don't be so shallow and just go on looks, man. So Willie says, you're gonna give one of those, or you're gonna give someone one of those? Barnabas, that's what gift means. I must start to build a relationship with the next Josette. I mean, if you start a relationship just by giving them jewelry, that just means you're gonna come across a gold digger, but okay. Gonna give him a piece of jewelry. Willie says, but do you think a piece of jewelry will buy whoever it is you want? Well, so Barnabas picks up the pearl necklace. He picks that up. He's looking at that. He says nothing can be bought. But the next Josette I have in mind is not even worth the entire contents of this chest. Perhaps that's why I'm so attracted to her. Willie, I understand. Barnabas, do you? You have changed, Willie. You've become wiser, and that will ensure my success because your weak moments will have vanished. There were moments when I thought that you would let Miss Evans go. Willie, I wasn't going to do that. Barnabas, you weren't? The thing I like about you, Willie, is that I can always tell what you're thinking. You're ideal for what I have in mind. I doubt very much if you'll show the same weakness for the next Josette. So he's put those pearls back, and now he's got this ring that he's checking out. Willie, I know who the next one will be. Barnabas, do you? Willie, Vicky Winters. Barnabas, you'll have to wait and see. Willie, oh, I know it's her. Barnabas is still looking at that ring. He says, this should do very nicely. Josette would like this. Willie, Vicky Winters. Barnabas doesn't like hearing that. Brian's saying to Dandy, after hundreds of years, one would think you would learn. Pam says, poor Barnabas, PTSD. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. He says maybe he should give his next Josette a bungee cord. It's so fucked up. Every girl he go out with jumps off the same fucking cliff. I don't know. What's wrong with them? It can't be me. When did bungee jumping become a thing? Like, Barnabas, I gotta tell you about this new thing. No, it'll help you with the next Josette in case things go bad. Oh, shit. Oh, man, that's the funniest thing I've heard all week. Brian LMAO, Willie is his wingman. Pam says, Barnabas can read Willie's mind because he bit him on the hand. Yeah, he did, and bite him on the wrist there. And then Willie tried to take himself out. Bungee cord. A parachute, something. How many feet? I don't know. I just telling you, Barnabas, it could work. Willie, be quiet. So now we're at the woods. We're inside the woods. Willie's just walking through. He's got a flashlight. And T says, I love to see Nikki lose it. Sometimes you guys will say the funniest stuff I've heard all week. What? Why didn't I think of that? And I lose my shit. But as Willie's walking through, Jason steps out from behind him, puts his hand on his shoulder. Don't scare this man. He's jumpy enough, and you're hopping out of the woods, touching him, bruh. But that's Jason stops him. It's like, Willie, I was just on my way over to see you. So Willie's like, you were? What for? Jason, Just to shake your hand and bid you a fond farewell. Been around here too long. Time for me to move on. Willie, you mean you got everything you came for? Jason, well, I got enough, yes. Willie, hey, did you get married? Jason, no, that part of the deal didn't go through. I just had a change of plans. Willie, I know when you're not telling the truth. The whole deal fell through, didn't it? Jason, no, it just didn't work out, that's all. Willie, if I didn't hear it from you, I never would have believed it. The great plans of the great Jason McGuire backfired on him. So Jason goes like he's gonna like choke him. Like he gets that close to him and then he kind of holds himself back. Says, "Don't ever say a thing like that to me, Willie." Willie, but it's true, isn't it? Willie, well, it's in the past now. I've got to begin looking forward again. Willie, where are you heading? Jason, I've got a few things working. There's something ripening down in Florida, little oil deal down in Texas. Of course, I didn't think you'd be interested. I just thought I'd check out with you anyway. You feel like coming along? Willie, I'd like to, but I'm doing all right here. Jason, oh, I'll bet you are. You sure you won't come along? Willie, yeah, positive. Jason, oh, that's too bad, 'cause there'd be a nice share in it for you. Willie, you've been real generous, Jason. Jason, well, now, I haven't done too badly by you, have I? Took care of you when you were in trouble and a few other things. Willie, well, I'll admit that. Jason, I'm glad to hear it, because I'm going to have to ask you to do me a little favor. Willie, what kind of favor? Jason, I need a little stake just to get me where I'm going, to tide me over. Willie, I don't have much, just a few bucks. Jason, oh, I need more than that, a lot more. Maybe you know a way I can get some. Willie, I don't. Jason, sure you do. That chest of jewelry you keep in the old house. Willie, I don't know what you're talking about. Jason, come on now. I know it's there. Willie, how do you know? Jason, I saw it. Willie, when? Jason, never mind. I don't want it all, just enough. Willie, it isn't mine. Jason, oh, I'm sure it isn't. That shouldn't bother you, taking things that belong to other people. That shouldn't even ruffle your feathers compared to what you've done. Willie, what are you talking about? Jason, I'm talking about Maggie Evans. Poor thing. Now what happened to her? Oh, yes. And I'm talking about Vicky Winters. Poor thing. And I wonder what's about to happen to her. I'm certainly up on my current events, don't you think? That's the secret to my success. You know what to do. Willie. Yeah. Jason, don't be too long about it. Got a lot of traveling to do. Willie, I can't get it for you tonight. He's there. Tomorrow afternoon when he's not there. Jason, all right, Willie. The Blue Whale. And you'd better be there. So he wanders off. I do gotta say, this episode, John Carlin looks so hot the entire episode. Like, dude, oh my god. Oh my god. I was so distracted, bruh. Oh my god. Like his hair and just everything. Just, like, I hate to stop and fangirl, but I had to say something. Like, oh my god, bruh. Like I noticed it, and it was in my old notes. Yeah. One to go to says to NT, that's the best, yeah. Gonna be going over just a bit. So we're at the Blue Whale. It's gotta be afternoon or just before. It's the next day, day 90. And Jason is sitting at the bar. He's got his beer, just hanging out. And Vicky walks in. She walks up to the barman, asks if he's seen Carolyn today, and no. Danny says his hair did look really good. I was jealous. LOL. It's like, oh my god, what is it with this episode? It's the same. Was it the lighting? Is it like the close up and the lips and just oh my. Anytime you can see him from the back, it's so nice. And why is he always wearing black pants? Okay, good girl, like calm down, calm down. It's not time for that. So, like when Victoria walked in and just walked up to the barman, she wasn't like looking around at anybody. She just made a beeline for him to ask him a question. She's not like there to be day drinking. She's just looking for Carolyn. So, dude says no. Jason says, Vicky, mind if I talk to you for a few minutes? Victoria, I'd rather not. I think we've said everything that we possibly could say to each other. Right, dude is always trying to swindle somebody. Like he would take candy from a baby if there was profit in it, or if he just felt like it. Jason says, I'm leaving very soon. What are you doing here at this time of day? Victoria, I'm looking for Carolyn. Jason, still acting up, huh? Victoria, we haven't seen her since Mrs. Stoddard said she killed her husband. She hasn't heard the true story. All she knows is her mother is a murderess. Jason, oh, well, I'm sorry about that. Victoria, I'll bet you are. You've done something I'll never forgive you for. You've ruined the life of a wonderful woman. For 18 years, Mrs. Stoddard lived a lie because of you. Jason, oh, is that so? Well, what about Paul? Everyone's willing to blame me, but not him. Victoria, he wasn't foolish enough to come back. Jason, I wasn't foolish coming back. It was a very daring caper. I bet you'd like to see me behind bars. Victoria, I don't want to see anyone in jail, but I'm sorry you're getting away with this. The only thing you're right about is that there are honest and decent people in this world. The perfect setup for you. Victoria's giving it to him. Jason says, how young and innocent you are. You must think you're living in a world where people go around wearing tags marked good and bad. You'd be in for a rude shock to find out there are more bad tags than good ones. It's got such an odd way of talking. What did he say? You'd be in for a rude shock to find out that the bad tags outnumber the good ones. Surprise you? Victoria, not as much as you think. Jason, I wonder about you. I wonder just how corruptible you are. What would it take? What's your price? Victoria, there is no price, and there never will be. Jason, don't be so sure. A time may come very soon when a price just might be established. Victoria, what do you mean? Jason, oh, just generalizing, that's all. Victoria says this, and it's just a turn of phrase I don't understand, but it's okay. She says, Jason says he's just generalizing. Victoria says, well, in that case, you're talking through your hat. Jason, he gets mad. He's like, that's something that I never do. All right, Miss Morality. The time for your test will come very soon. Victoria, there's nothing as sad as a hollow threat. And she starts to head for the door. Jason says, Vicky, just who are you? And where do you come from? I was thinking, I'm from New York, bitch, but she doesn't talk that way. Victoria says, why do you ask that? Jason, because I know you don't know the answers to those questions. Well, I was in this area 18 years ago, and maybe I do know the answers. Victoria, what do you know? Jason, whatever I know, I'll take with me when I go. Victoria, you're only trying to hurt me. She's sick of his shit. She takes off. It's like, well, I'm 20. I'm not 18, so there goes your theory, guy. Like, dude, you don't even know who I am. Go fuck yourself. I'm from New York, bitch. But so later on, Jason he's still there drinking. It's gonna be fucking smashed when he leaves town. But he's sitting at a table. Willie walks in, he's wearing his jacket. Now, this, like, Victoria just walked in, went to the bar, man. Willie can't walk into a room without looking around to see who else is there. But he walks in, walks up to the table there where Jason's sitting. Jason says, Did you get lost, Willie? Willie, I have things to do. Jason, Jason, my laptop battery was low. I couldn't leave until it was finished charging. Can't find the hole, fellas. You know what that's like. Hang on. Okay. Sorry for the noise. Oh man, his hair is so pretty here. I still have audio, right? The audio messed up on me one time when I messed with the charger. In retrospect, I could have left it plugged in on the laptop and just, okay, it's fine. So Willie said he had things to do. Jason says, well, I should think I'd be at the top of your list. Willie, sorry, I got here as soon as I could. Jason, I don't want to hear your excuses. Sit down. Willie, I haven't got much time. Jason, what do you expect to do? Toss what you've got for me halfway across the room? So Willie sits down. Pam says, I want to dance with you. Oh, my dancing days are over. So Jason says, I think we ought to have a farewell drink together. Willie says, I told you I've got to go. Jason, you're going to have a drink with me if I have to shove it down your throat. So we're drinking to the end of a long friendship. One that took us around the world. Willie, you're getting awfully sentimental all of a sudden. Jason, I always have been. You just never noticed it. So the barman comes over, brings him a couple of beers. He actually takes a drink this time. Remember before Willie came in and Dick, I'm going to get you a drink. And Willie's like, well, I'm not going to drink it. He just let it sit in front of him. This time he actually takes a drink. Okay. I wonder what they use for beer in TV shows. But anyway, Jason says, let's drink to whatever the future holds for us. So Willie, sure, takes a drink. Jason, we'll get down to business. Willie, I got what you wanted. Jason, I bet your pockets are bulging, huh? You always did tend to overdo things. Suppose we have a look at what you brought. Willie looks around. He says, not in here. Jason, why not? Unless you wave it around the room, no one's going to see it. Come on, let's have a look at it. So Willie takes this, this balled up, wrapped up handkerchief out of his jacket, sets it on the table. Jason, pulls it over to himself. He's unwrapping it, unrolling it, and inside there's a brooch. It's about the palm of your hand size, an adult male hand. Just this sparkly, pretty brooch. But that's it. Jason's looking at it. He says, "What's this?" Willie, "That's it." Jason, "You can't be serious." Willie, "That's all I could manage. I couldn't take any more. I'd get in trouble." Jason, "This is nothing." Willie stands up. "It's all I can do for you." So Jason stands up too. He says, "You're letting me down, Willie. I can't let you do that at all." Willie, "This is all you're getting." So he turns around and leaves. Dandy, right? A puny little brooch? Well, what's that worth? A couple of $1,000? I mean, yeah, it would be worth more nowadays money, but that's not going to get him very far. So the next thing we see, we're in the drawing room, and we hear a window break. And the window slides up. You move the curtain aside, and in steps Jason. Damn. Now remember when David broke in, but all he had to do was open the window? Maybe Whitley learned his lesson and he locks it now. But yeah, so this dude is breaking and entering, and we see the drawing room for the credits. What the hell is this, Willie? This doesn't go with any of my clothes. No, he wasn't getting it to wear it. He's gonna sell it. But yeah. So Jason's wedding is off. Now he's getting kicked out of town and breaking into houses. So it's going bad for him. I can only imagine it's going to get worse. Oh man, this was so much fun. You guys cracked me up. I'm glad you guys had a couple of extra hours to hang out on I was going to say Friday, but I'm pretty sure it's not Friday. Saturday. Uh yeah, again, you can watch Dark Shadows on Tubi right now. It's not like it's not the same brooch that Willie was trying to swipe from Liz. They're not that. They kind of pay attention to detail on the show sometimes. It's a different brooch, different brooch. So yeah, it was good seeing everybody. If you made it this far, smash the like button. That does help out the channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are subscribed. That helps out the channel as well. I'm over halfway to getting monetized videos, but it's a slow creep up. Maybe in another couple years I'll be at 500 subs. I'm not. It's not a race towards monetization. It's just one of those goals they have up there. It's cool being a smaller channel. It's okay being a bigger channel too. As long as everybody can show up and have a good time and gets enjoyment and entertainment out of the videos, it is totally worth it. But yeah, all you guys are the best. Dandy says thanks, Nikki and chat. Great fun. Yeah, well, we can't prove he does or does not have cancer. I mean, I'm not his doctor. I think anytime they tell us a politician has an illness, it's just it's a lie. It's like everything else on MSM. But yeah, you guys are all the best. Don't forget your pants. Don't forget to smash the like button and stay hydrated and sexy and get something good to eat. Get some good sleep. Let me know when it's okay to eat lettuce again. I used to buy lettuce for sandwiches, and now I don't buy them for sandwiches anymore because of the invader thing. But yeah, you guys are all the best. I can't wait to see you guys again next week. We'll be doing the same thing with different episodes. So you guys make these fun. You guys crack me up. You guys make all of the bullshit worth it. And I'll be seeing you in a chat room in the meantime. So everybody, just take it easy. Have a great rest of your night or rest of your day, depending on where you are. And till next time.